Hello everyone, this is MJPWGaming, and today we are going to explore a little bit deeper into the slasher. Now, the last video I devoted to only the slasher, I mentioned several different characters that could relate to who the slasher may be inspired by. However, the slasher is his own type of being. He is no other character that we've ever seen, and he is his own unique person. And today, if you do a little bit of close research and just look at pictures long enough, you will definitely understand on who this character is. Or not necessarily who he is, but what he is. So, what you've been looking at is a looping of the slasher from the very first Sabotage DLC little teaser. However, I've changed the brightness and the contrast and zoomed it in to maybe let you understand a little bit what I'm thinking. So straight off the bat, hopefully you can notice that there is a mask on his face, and he is obviously using something that requires two hands. And another thing I wanted to point out, if you look above his right leg, you can see somewhat of a loop that's in his clothing. And so from looking at this for a long time, it looks like honestly he is wearing somewhat of a longer sleeve shirt with bigger type of gloves that go almost to his elbows, and something, I want to say it's either like overalls, or maybe it's something like a apron that wraps around his legs. And yes, that is a thing, I promise you. And I've known about these features, but I wanted to wait till just about the right time, but actually right before we was actually getting anything that's completely revealing everything. And I've made an assumption on who I think he was a while ago, but something else came out, which was the icing on the cake. Mr. Lee Ross put out another tweet. If you've seen my other videos, I stalk his tweets all the time. I apologize, but he puts out a lot of intel. But anyways, he put out another tweet on the poster, which is the top of the poster, which features the slasher. And boy, oh boy, I was so happy looking at this. Obviously, you can tell it's something like a mask because you can see the right and left sides have something looking like a strap, but they're both different sizes. And you can obviously see the X's for the eyes and the stitched mouth. And I'll be completely honest, that's the only things that caught my eye. But then I looked a little closer, and for some reason I did not notice this. There is a very easy to see window for the eyes. And so if you take away the X's and the stitches, you can obviously tell this is a welding helmet. And going back to the looping image, I hope you now understand who he is. The slasher is a welder. And one of my other Rave In The Redwoods videos, I mentioned that you can see the embers that's following him on his side or his back. Well, if you look even closer, it's actually on one side and only that side, at least presumably. So what I'm expecting him to honestly be holding some sort of like welding type of equipment, maybe like a pole or some sort of thing. From what I could find, I didn't find anything that's too like, oh, that's gotta be it. But it's definitely spurting out something that I'm assuming that goes to that. And then now going back to the other image, you're probably wondering, okay, so in the other clip, why does he not have the X's or the smile? Well, that's probably because you can only see it during the delirium vision. The delirium vision, if you don't know and if you haven't been caught up quite yet, is the sort of vision where it lights up the whole place and it's all neon. I was pretty iffy on the idea at first, but now I'm really warming up to the actual idea of the neon lights. And just seeing the slasher's bright face, that lit up my face. That's probably all we can get from this character, at least from right now, because, I mean, there's only so much we can look at up until we get some more actual in-game intel or some intel in general from Lee Ross and even Brian Bright, because he's actually teased one of the artists that's going to be in the music tracks of Rave In The Redwoods. But at least now we know the slasher was a welder, and I'm hoping he sort of takes one of like the stories sort of similar to the older slasher, quote unquote, I guess it's funny to say that, but the kind of like slasher films where he died, but he's just gonna keep on coming back. But I absolutely love it. You guys have no idea. So if you like the video, please leave a like and possibly subscribe. I'm gonna have a lot of Rave In The Redwoods footage very soon, and I'm also gonna cover the Infinite Warfare live stream that they're gonna be doing very soon, dedicated to this map. So if you happen to be busy that day, don't worry, I got you covered. I'll cover it all over here. And that is gonna do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.